What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my first ever Redstone tutorial video. Today we're going to be looking at this horse race minigame that I made for my single player world. So let me give you an idea of how this game works. When I press this button here, we'll start the countdown. And off we go. The timer is started and we are now on the clock. I've made some jumping obstacles here for my horse. That is lap 1 completed, and if I'll spare you the other laps, but if we trick the game into thinking we've done all 3 laps, and we can check our score. We did that in 59 gold ingots. Now, what does that mean? If we divide that number by 2.5, it'll give us our score in seconds, so you can see that a while back ago, last summer, I was able to complete this course in 40 seconds, about 41 seconds. So that's how the game works. Let's jump into a creative world and see how to build this device. Okay, here we are in a redstone test world. You can see I've simulated a racetrack here. You can get a better look at everything that's kind of under the hood. A lot of this device is customizable, like what sound the note blocks make, how much delay there is between them, and with the lights and everything. The lights and the note blocks are of course optional if you're just interested in the main minigame device. Okay, here is the area we're going to be building with on. I'm sorry, 1 second. Okay, now that that's taken care of, we can get back to what we were talking about. Where were we? Ah, yes. So this is an 11 by 15 area that will fit everything you need, and it's all going to be underground. I have an arrow here to say that we're going to be racing in this direction. That's very important. And we're going to be 2 blocks underground, and this dirt block represents where your ground level will be. Alright, so now that we've covered the dimensions, let's take a look at the materials you're going to need. As you can see, in terms of the redstone, it's not too expensive. These concrete blocks are representing the finish line. In addition to everything in the chest here, you're going to need a few stacks of whatever item you want to actually count how long it takes you to complete the race. In my survival world, I use gold ingots, but you can use whatever you want. And you're going to need about a stack of building blocks on top of everything else in here as well. One last thing before we get started here, I'm using colored wool to designate which parts of the contraption do what. So if you want to use that, that's up to you, but I'm using yellow for the lighting system, magenta for the start and stop system, green for the music system, red for the T flip-flop and all that good stuff, and then blue for the actual counter. Alright, first things first, we're going to come to the top right of our game, and we're going to start by building the main on button. So I'm just going to put some wool down so it's a bit clearer. We're going to put a redstone torch, a redstone repeater, and I'm going to hop up 4 blocks just so we're 1 block above our dirt level, and that's going to put your button. That's going to be the main button to turn on the game. Break this block, put in a sticky piston facing down, and break this block. So now when you push this button, the sticky piston will extend and it'll become powered. Now we're going to be working on the lighting module. This is completely optional, but I think it looks great for aesthetic reasons. I'm going to place 2 blocks like this, like so, and then we're going to go over 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to make this kind of look like a comb, so every other. Just like that. Now come back to your on-off switch and put a repeater on 4 ticks. Put in your redstone dust. Another repeater on 4 ticks. A redstone dust. Another repeater on 4 ticks. 2 more redstone dust. Last repeater, and 2 more redstone dust. I'm going to be placing 2 more yellow wool on every edge of the comb, if you want to call it, and you can break these now. And on top of these are going to go our redstone lamps. Now you can fill in between these redstone lamps with whatever you want, but for now I'm going to keep them open. Continuing to build off our main button here, we're going to be starting with the note block. So we're going to come 6 blocks. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, over 1, and then down 2. Just like that. We're then going to be placing a repeater here on 4 ticks, a note block set to whatever tuning you'd like and whatever instrument you like. Another repeater on 4 ticks, another note block, repeater, 4 ticks, note block, come around here, place a redstone dust, another repeater on 4 ticks, and another note block. That should be all set for the music. I like to have the note blocks just for that Mario Kart feel, and you'll know that everything's working when the music is timed with the lights. Perfect. So now we're going to be building the T flip-flop for the game. I know that there are better T flip-flop designs, but unfortunately I'm playing on Bedrock and they just aren't reliable with dispensers and hoppers and all that good stuff. So we're just going to be building a simple one out of repeaters and redstone dust and torches. Classic style. So we're going to come out 2 blocks from this final note block. I'm placing in red wool to signify our T flip-flop. Placing a repeater on 4 ticks. Place a block for the repeater to go into. A redstone torch. Now we're going to be coming out with a repeater set to 1 tick. Place a block here. A repeater that will become locked on 4 ticks. And then a repeater facing this direction, also on 4 ticks. Nope, with a redstone torch here. So this repeater is facing this way, this repeater is facing this way, and that's how you know it should be working. And now we're going to place 2 redstone dust here, just like so. Okay, now that we have our T flip-flop in place, we're going to be building an output for it. So we're going to come out 1 block from here, up 1, just a little staircase, and put redstone dust here and here, but not on this one. We're going to place a block on top of that red wool, put a chest on the side, and a chest on top, break this block, and put a hopper to connect them. And that's going to be our score chest and our input chest. Okay, now we're going to be hooking up the system, which is actually going to count how many laps we've completed. To do that, we're going to come to the top of our T flip-flop here from this redstone torch. We're going to go over 3, place a block in the middle, redstone dust on these 2, and a redstone torch on this side. Then we're going to come around to the back, place a sticky piston, and any block of your choice, solid block. Now we're going to be hooking up our tripwire input. So to do that, we're going to come down from our solid block 1 over 2, and remove this block and place 1 here. Place a repeater here on 1 tick and 2 redstone dust. Okay, so I just built in our finish line, which is, just a checkered normal pattern coming down 3 blocks from our lights, because we're going to start hooking up our tripwires. So we need to bring some grass here or whatever block you choose. And then we're going to take our glass and build a small staircase and put redstone dust on top of it. Next, take any block you'd like and put it on top of that redstone dust so that it is 1 higher than the ground, and then do the same thing directly on the other side. Just like that. I filled in the area with path blocks, so this next step is a little easier because we're going to be adding our tripwire hooks to both of these solid blocks, and then adding string in the middle to connect them. Now that the tripwires are in, we can continue with the counting system. We're going to start by taking our blue wool and going down 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Adding a redstone dust, a dropper facing this way, and a hopper facing into it. We're going to open up this dropper and place in our 3 sticks. This number will be however many laps you want. It can be 3, it can be 10, however many laps that you want to do before the race is considered completed. Now we're going to come around to the inside of this dropper. We're going to break out these 2 blocks. We're going to place a comparator coming out of this dropper. It should turn on if you have items in it. Place a block up here and a redstone torch. This next part is going to be adding our comparator pulse extender. So we're going to come down 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3, and over. Adding redstone dust, a comparator facing toward the edge, and then a comparator facing inside, a block here, redstone dust, and finally a redstone torch. This redstone torch is going to be locking this hopper until all the items from the dropper have been dispensed into it, and then it will unlock and all the items will automatically flow back through. And finally, we're going to be making the system which will turn off the game once all the laps are finished. So we're going to come out of this redstone dust here, 1, 2, 3, over 2 into this note block, 1, 2, Now we're going to be adding 2 redstone dust here and here, a sticky piston facing toward the front, and an observer facing that way as well. So now when the sticky piston is fired, this observer will power this note block and also the T flip-flop again, which will turn off the game. Now the only thing left to do is to open up our input chest, put in whatever item you like, and give it a test. So when we press this button, now we'll see that the game is on. We run through the tripwire to complete a lap. We'll see that our dropper goes down by 1. If we do this 2 more times, the game will turn off. And you can see we have our score in the chest. Now, if you were to divide that by 2.5, that's how many seconds have passed since you pressed the button between when you completed the last lap. Some optional things you can do to enhance the game is to add an observer coming out of the dropper into a note block, which will then make a sound every time you finish a lap. Also, if you want these lights to turn on longer, you can add a comparator here and here with redstone dust connecting them, and this will just make the lights stay on a little bit longer. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you'd enjoyed it. It's my very first tutorial ever, so I hope that you leave me a comment with feedback about what was helpful or not helpful, and I hope you enjoyed this horse racing minigame. It can be used for many things, like boat races and stuff like that. So I hope you liked it, and I hope you have fun with it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!